King Philip's War is a two-player game that attempts to capture a very particular series of historical events in as simple a way as possible. Once upon a time, there were some colonists who had a particular view on property that didn't make a lot of sense to the people who lived in the land that they were colonizing. So one day they started to fight. The game King Philip's War is inspired by that fight in such a way so that the crux of the game is about the two sides destroying one another's property. Throughout the game, the colonists and the Indians will go around and they will raid and then raze each other's villages and settlements. Throughout the game, both sides will do this. They will destroy each other's villages and settlements and each other in order to get points. There, however, the similarities end because the sides play very differently. At the beginning of the game, the Indians, for example, are faster and they can attack more and they can move along rivers and they can do all sorts of stuff that the colonists simply cannot do. The colonists are very slow until they learn from the people that they are attempting to subjugate via this man, Benjamin Church. Benjamin Church comes in according to a die roll, and so you never really know how well the colonists are going to be able to do. A lot depends on this die roll. Once Benjamin Church enters the game, the colonists are able to work together despite being from different colonies, and they're able to move quickly and attack more times like the Indians, and also they're able to recruit certain Indians onto their side. The most important difference, I think, between the two, however, involves this box of eliminated units. The only people who can occupy this box are the Indian players' units. The colonist units just keep coming back and back. Even though it's not their native land, they seem to have the numbers for some reason. Thus, the Indians' people are more valuable to them, and as the game goes on, they suffer more from attrition. This is mitigated somewhat by King Philip himself, who has this special ability to jump around the board and recruit new tribes to join the Indian efforts. Much of the game revolves around destroying one another via combat. Combat is resolved by rolling 3 dice. One of the dice is the Indian's die, the other one is the English die, and the other one's an event die. Now, whether the total of the English and the Indian die are even or odd decides who the event die affects. Now, the event die can have some rather dramatic effects that can really change combat's outcome, and so it really sort of prompts a sort of overkill when attacking, because you never really know, even if you have superior numbers, whether you'll be able to do anything at all. In addition to the event die's abilities, if you roll doubles, the whole combat just does nothing. So if you have this, you're, say, for example, really wanting to destroy Rhode Island, and you have a bunch of guys around there, you might put more forces attacking Rhode Island than you need, because one of them might not be able to do anything at all. It's the sort of game you really have to accept that you're not going to have a total control over what's going to happen. You can have great plans and great strategies, but if you don't take into account the fact that the world can totally change things on you and make even your best plans fail, you're going to be very frustrated. For example, the first time I played this game, I was really hoping the Indians would kick the colonists' butt and reverse history, and so I could maybe experience what the world would be like if it was different. However, I just kept getting spies on my sachems all the time, and so it was very frustrating. But then the second time I played, I just kind of accepted that would happen, and I started to plan for it. I started to plan more for the fact that things could just totally twist on me, which led to this sort of overkill brutality, and the colonists were decimated. All in all, the game is very simple to play and rather brutal. It is designed as a game, however. It's not a total simulation of what's going to happen. I would say, if it were a book, it would be inspired by a true story rather than a true story. King Philip's War.